First impressions and Finnish culture. People enter a room completely naked, remain silent, and consider it perfectly normal. This is not a hidden ritual. It is simply the Finnish sauna, and this is just the beginning. In Finland, you can leave your phone in the middle of the street, and no one will take it. But try to start a conversation with a stranger on the bus, and they will stare at you as if you have done something wrong. And there is more? Want to live here? Then forget about personalizing your house, because even changing a door requires permission. There are many beautiful women here, but the cold is so intense that it freezes your body and makes your courage disappear. Today, you are going to learn everything about Finland. And at the end, you will decide whether you could live here or escape after the first winter. Finns are known for being quiet, reserved, and very direct. This means that if you try to chat with someone in a supermarket line, they will likely look at you as if you have admitted to something terrible. This does not mean they are unfriendly. In fact, they live by a simple rule: if you have nothing important to say, then please stay silent. Here, talking too much is not only unnecessary, it can even be considered disrespectful. Even though everyone seems to keep to themselves, Finland is one of the most honest countries in the world. You can find flower stands with no one around. You simply scan a QR code, pay online, and walk away with your bouquet. The sacred silence of Finnish saunas. One of Finland's most famous contributions is the sauna, which has become a key part of its national identity. There are over 3 million saunas in the country, meaning there is more than one for every 2 people. Saunas hold deep cultural importance for Finns, and most people visit them several times a week for both physical and mental relaxation. There is even a Finnish saying that a house without a sauna is not truly a home. Enjoying a sauna while looking out over a snowy landscape is one of the favorite ways to release stress. People from Finland and other countries alike enjoy the nation's many spas and saunas for this reason. The practice helps maintain both physical health and mental balance. Especially in winter, spending time in a sauna becomes even more comforting, helping people stay relaxed and healthy. There is also a unique tradition after sitting in a sauna with temperatures over 176 degrees Fahrenheit. Many Finns dive into an icy lake or roll in the snow. It may look extreme, but it is actually a way to refresh the body, improve blood circulation, and feel more energized. However, one strict rule applies inside the sauna: complete silence. Talking is seen as inappropriate, and silence is treated almost like a sacred custom. Living between darkness and midnight sun. In Finland, the weather operates at full intensity. During winter, daylight is limited to just a few hours, if that, making you question your life choices. Snow may look beautiful from a distance, but once you step outside and start slipping on the icy streets, it becomes a daily challenge. The hardest part, however, is not the cold but the darkness. In some parts of the country, the sun barely rises during midwinter. You wake up in the dark, eat lunch in the dark, and by the time you think the day has started, it is already night again. It feels like living in constant vampire mode. Summer is the complete opposite. If the sun disappears in winter, it makes up for it by shining endlessly in summer. Want to sleep? That becomes your problem, because even at 2 in the morning, it is still bright outside. And Finns love it. This is when the whole country comes alive after months of hibernation, turning into one big outdoor celebration filled with beaches, barbecues, and festivals. It feels as if someone has pressed the reset button on everyone. But instead of complaining about the weather, Finns choose to adapt. Here, people believe there is no bad weather, only the wrong choice of clothing. If it is minus 25 degrees, they just add another layer and move on. When it is warm, they enjoy every second of it, knowing that soon enough, the freezing season will return once again. Land of beautiful women. Finnish women have a unique beauty that makes them instantly recognizable. They are often tall, with fair skin like snow, icy blue eyes, and a calm, mysterious charm that attracts attention and earns admiration. However, what truly defines them is not their appearance, but their strength and independence. In Finland, it is completely normal for a woman to drive through snowy forests, repair things at home, or lead a construction team. They do this not to make a point, but because self-reliance is simply part of who they are. Finnish women are highly educated and belong to one of the most gender-equal societies in the world. At one time, 12 of Finland's government ministers were women, something many nations still hope to achieve. Even in relationships, independence and equality are essential values. Do not expect her to let you pay the entire bill on a date. She will likely prefer to split it. This is not a lack of romance. but a reflection of how much she values self-sufficiency and mutual respect. Finnish women are intelligent, honest, and dislike pretense or exaggerated displays of affection. But when they love, they do so deeply and faithfully, combining emotion with reason and standing by their partner through every challenge. In Finland, men often let women speak first not only out of courtesy, but also because they recognize that Finnish women are confident and articulate. And in any discussion, one thing is certain: she will always have the final word. If you're curious about how to meet and date a Finnish woman through dating apps or social platforms and want us to share some helpful tips to win her heart, leave a comment with the number 1. Finland has a wife-carrying championship. In Finland, men run through mud while carrying their wives, all for the chance to win a barrel of beer. The wife-carrying world championship takes place every year in the small town of Saunas, and the rules are just as unusual as the event itself. You can carry your own wife or someone else's, as long as the woman is over 17 years old and weighs at least 108 pounds, or 49 kilograms. If she weighs less, she must carry extra weight to meet the requirement. The most entertaining part is the prize. The winner receives the woman's weight in beer. Yes, if you carry your wife through a challenging obstacle course and finish first, you take home a beer reward equal to her weight. The heavier the wife, the more beer you earn. The event has become so famous that couples from the United States, the United Kingdom, Germany, and even Japan now train for it seriously with real techniques. The most popular carrying method is known as the Estonian style, where the woman hangs upside down with her legs around her partner's shoulders like a human backpack. It may look strange, but it is very effective. The championship features official judges, timekeepers, race gear, and an excited crowd that cheers as if they were watching the World Cup. If you want to discover more unique stories from around the world, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any fascinating journeys where every tradition and celebration holds a magical story waiting for you to explore. The world's most trusted education system. Finland is known for having one of the best education systems in the world. Basic education is free and mandatory for 9 years, and students focus on truly learning instead of memorizing facts to forget later. The goal is not to fill their minds with useless formulas, but to help them understand and apply what they learn. There are no intense entrance exams that cause stress, and learning happens at a comfortable pace without unnecessary pressure. This system is built on trust and great respect for teachers. Every teacher must have a master's degree and go through a very selective process, where only about 10% of applicants are accepted. They receive good salaries, teach fewer hours, and have longer holidays, allowing for a healthy balance between work and personal life. With such skilled educators, Finland has created an outstanding education system recognized worldwide. It consistently performs well in global tests like PISA, not only for academic results but also for fairness, ensuring that every student receives a high-quality education no matter their background. Unique Finnish laws and systems. If you are driving in Finland, you should know that traffic fines are not based on the violation itself but on your annual income. This system, known as the day fine method, means that the wealthier you are, the higher your fine will be. If you earn less, your penalty is smaller. The idea follows a core Finnish belief that justice must be completely fair, and that the weight of punishment should feel equal for everyone, no matter how much money they have. Because of this, there have been some remarkable cases that caught international attention. A rich businessman was once fined over $100,000 for slightly exceeding the speed limit. That amount could easily buy a new car rather than pay for a speeding ticket. Meanwhile, a student working part-time might only pay a few dozen for the same offense. To people from countries like the United States, where fines are fixed amounts, this system may seem strange. But in Finland, it is considered fair and logical. Drinking culture in Finland. Rules, contrasts, and connections. In Finland, the sale of alcohol is tightly controlled by the government, especially when it comes to strong drinks. All liquor sales go through Alko Oy, a state-owned retail chain. These stores have limited opening hours, usually closing much earlier than regular supermarkets and staying closed on Sundays in most areas. Because of this regulation, the idea of stopping by a convenience store late at night to buy vodka or wine simply does not exist in Finland. Interestingly, this strict control goes hand in hand with a culture that often involves binge drinking, where people consume large amounts of alcohol during certain occasions. Finns usually avoid drinking during the week, but often drink heavily on weekends or holidays. For visitors, it can be surprising to see the country shift from its quiet and reserved mood to a lively and energetic weekend atmosphere. For many Finns, drinking serves as a social bridge that helps break the natural reserve typical of their culture. Alcohol-centered gatherings are often where people open up and connect more easily. However, for foreigners who do not drink, this can make socializing a bit difficult. A helpful suggestion is to join other activities instead, such as sports clubs, music festivals, or outdoor adventures. These experiences provide great opportunities to meet and connect with Finns in a natural and comfortable way. The country with the cleanest air in the world. Would you drink water straight from a public faucet on the street? In Finland, not only is that safe, it is actually encouraged. According to the World Health Organization and Yale University, Finland has the cleanest water and some of the purest air on Earth. You can safely drink tap water anywhere, whether you're in a park, a school, a cabin deep in the forest, or even a public restroom. The underground water flows naturally through ancient forests and granite rocks that have filtered it for centuries. Locals often joke that if you see a stream in Finland, don't just take a photo, take a sip first. And as for the air, the town of Muonio in northern Finland has the lowest level of fine particle pollution in the world, just 3 micrograms per cubic meter. That means every breath you take feels like a natural vitamin boost for your lungs. What's even more impressive is how people live with nature. In rural areas, many still brew coffee using spring water, keep their windows open throughout the year, and even sleep outdoors in summer. They do this not as an eco-friendly gesture, but because nature here is so clean that they simply don't need to worry about it harming them. The happiest country in the world. You might think happiness comes from big parties or luxury, but in Finland, it begins with quiet moments, simple living, and a warm cup of coffee by a calm lake. For 6 consecutive years, from 2018 to 2023, Finland has been ranked the happiest country in the world by the United Nations World Happiness Report. It may seem strange that a nation with long, dark winters, limited sunlight, and only 5 million people leads the list. The secret lies in a mix of factors: a clean environment, strong social support, and a simple, balanced lifestyle. Finns benefit from free education, high-quality healthcare, and a strong welfare system that lets them live without constant financial stress. It's something that might surprise Americans when they compare their own tuition or medical bills. Finnish society values fairness, openness, and trust in government so much so that 84% of citizens say they trust their leaders. The country also has one of the smallest income gaps in Europe, is among the safest places on the planet, and consistently ranks as one of the least corrupt nations in the world. Finnish happiness comes from their deep philosophy of life, living simply, without showing off or rushing. They call it sisu, which means quiet strength and determination to keep moving forward without complaint. They find happiness in small moments: a sauna session, a peaceful walk in the forest, reading in silence, or simply enjoying solitude. Finns drink the most coffee in the world. When people think of coffee, they often imagine Italy, Brazil, or the United States. But surprisingly, the biggest coffee drinkers in the world are the Finns, each consuming more than 4 cups a day and around 26 pounds of coffee every year. About 80% of the coffee consumed in Finland is lightly roasted. It's not the strong espresso or artistic latte you might expect, but a pale, smooth filter coffee that carries a long tradition. Even more interesting, Finland is the only country where workplaces are legally required to give employees 2 coffee breaks a day, each lasting 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if you are the CEO or just starting your job. These breaks are sacred, and no one disturbs them. Walking through Helsinki, you will find cozy Scandinavian-style cafes where people prefer reading books over using phones. One remarkable example is the Udi Library, which serves as a community center with spaces for recording, 3D printing, and even meditation. At Finnish weddings, guests are often served coffee multiple times, sometimes up to 7 rounds. Offering coffee is considered a sign of hospitality and respect. The Sami, Finland's most unique indigenous people. In the far north, where snow covers the ground year-round and pine forests stretch endlessly, lives the Sami, the indigenous people of northern Finland. In Sami culture, children follow their mother's family line rather than their father's. This matrilineal tradition influences inheritance, rituals, and social structures, placing women at the heart of the community. One special tradition is the passing down of the gakti, a traditional dress that mothers give to their daughters. It's more than clothing, it's a cultural identity card. By looking at the colors, patterns, and neckline design, other Sami can tell where a person comes from, their family line, marital status, and community recognition. Sami women also hold important spiritual roles. They play ceremonial drums, perform ancient songs known as joik, and take part in rituals connecting them to their ancestors. They are seen as both life-givers and the guardians of their people's soul and heritage. In Finland, often called the world's happiest country, the Sami community stands as a reminder of cultural richness, where respect for women and female leadership runs deep. Lapland has the most beautiful northern lights in Finland. Have you ever watched the sky come alive? In Lapland, between September and March, the night sky transforms into a glowing display. The northern lights appear more than 200 nights a year, giving visitors over a 50% chance of seeing them during a short stay. The most breathtaking time is midwinter, when the air is clear, the sky cloudless, and the ground covered in snow. Whether you are standing in a forest or riding a husky sled, the sky above dances in bright, shifting colors. The best part is that you don't need to climb mountains or travel far to see them. In Rovaniemi, Santa Claus's official hometown, some resorts offer glass igloos where you can lie in bed under warm blankets and watch the aurora above. There's even a special alert service that sends a message when the lights appear. Imagine being woken by your phone, rushing outside and witnessing the most stunning show nature can offer. To the Sami, the northern lights are not just a natural event, but a living spirit. According to their beliefs, whistling, pointing, or laughing at the lights could anger them. Some legends even say the lights can take your soul if you show disrespect. That is why many Sami still watch in silence, treating the aurora with deep reverence. Want to know the best places to see the most surreal northern lights in Finland? Drop a comment with yes and I'll share them with you. Finnish cuisine. You cannot experience Finland without tasting its food. In Lapland, one unforgettable dish is loimulohi, salmon smoked on a wooden plank, its aroma mixing with the crisp winter air, often eaten beside a frozen lake. Another northern favorite is poronkaristis, a stew made from reindeer meat. It is served with mashed potatoes and lingonberry jam, combining savory, rich, and sweet flavors. Thanks to every man's right, anyone can pick mushrooms and berries from the wild, turning Finland's forests into a natural supermarket. Some foods, though, surprise visitors. Americans are often puzzled by mami, a dark brown rye dessert that looks like mud but is served with milk or cream. Then there's salmiakki, a salty licorice candy loved by Finns but considered a challenge by most foreigners. And kalakukko, a traditional loaf baked with an entire fish inside, remains a point of pride in rural regions. Festival foods are just as special. At Christmas, julukinku, a roasted ham with sweet mustard, is the centerpiece. During Vapu, the spring festival, people enjoy sima, a lightly fermented drink, along with monkey, sweet donuts. Another classic dish is karjalanpirakka, or Karelian pastry, made of thin rye crust filled with rice and topped with butter mixed with boiled eggs, a simple, traditional favorite. Generous immigration policies. Finland has begun opening its doors to newcomers, not with empty promises but with remarkable generosity. While many developed countries face aging populations and shrinking workforces, Finland has turned this challenge into an opportunity by welcoming foreigners through creative programs. In some rural areas, you can rent a house for as little as $1 if you agree to settle long-term, work remotely, or start a small business. That's only part of it. Young foreign families also receive free education for their children, maternity benefits, and housing support. For entrepreneurs, the government can offer up to $54,000 to start a business. And if it fails, the money does not need to be repaid. Finland values the courage to try more than success itself. Even if you face setbacks, unemployment benefits can last up to 500 days, giving people time to learn new skills, change careers, or rest before starting again. When retirement comes, the welfare system continues to shine. Retirees receive around $1,700 to $1,800 a month, along with nearly free healthcare. In remote areas, they even receive heating subsidies, free train travel, and firewood during the cold months. It's no wonder Finland is often described as a true welfare paradise, where social support extends from childhood to old age, ensuring a dignified and secure life for everyone. Finland isn't just a place, it's a feeling. A land where silence speaks louder than words, where the cold teaches warmth, and where simplicity becomes the greatest luxury. From the sacred stillness of saunas to the magic of the northern lights, every moment here carries meaning. It's a country that proves happiness isn't about noise, competition, or wealth. It's about balance, honesty, and harmony with nature. Here, people trust each other, respect rules, and find beauty and quiet strength, what Finns call sisu. Whether it's diving into an icy lake, savoring a cup of coffee, or walking under the endless summer sun. Life in Finland is about being present, calm, and real. So, after discovering all these wonders about the people, traditions, and spirit of this northern paradise, ask yourself, would you choose to live in Finland? Or would you escape after the first snowstorm? If you enjoyed this journey through Finland, don't stop here. Like this video if you were amazed by Finland's beauty and culture. Comment below. Would you survive a Finnish winter, or do you prefer the midnight sun? And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure, exploring the world's most fascinating countries and their untold stories. Because every destination hides a story, and we're here to tell them all.